Hey, everybody. So I am here with Rambo. He is an incredible realtor. We happen to be at the same brokerage. I'm really excited to introduce him to you because he has gone from being a part time new agent and within just a couple years, straight to a full time agent who is crushing it in a down market. And so I wanted him to come on and share a little bit about how he's been able to do this. Rambo, I'm going to let you talk about all of that. So please introduce yourself. Everybody, welcome Rambo. I'm excited to jump into this.
Yes, thanks, man. Thank you, Ian. I been waiting for somebody to call me on their podcast because I love listening to podcasts. And finally, I'm very glad that it is yours that I'm doing my honors on for the first time. Again, I've again a little backstory. I've been accustomed with you and Jeremy because of your podcast, the Real Migos. When I was recently kind of new to Austin, or even before I moved to Austin, I started listening to you guys, and thought, okay, this is the agents that I need to like be working with. But I was already working with somebody else at that time, and I was like, okay, but I still kept listening to your podcast because how much value you're delivering in that podcast, and that is why you got the first call when I was even thinking about getting my real estate agent license. And yeah, the rest is history. Again, Ian already talked about me. My name is Rambo, Rambo _realtor on Instagram. That is usually my main platform. I was a full-time software engineer when I got my realtor license. I just picked it up because I wanted to do something outside of my 9 to 5, but I knew that I didn't want to do it like a part time. I just want to know I want to do it the right way. I was willing to put in the work. So that's why I saw what Ian is doing on the social platforms, and I want to build my brand something similar to what Ian has been doing. So I reached out to him, not expecting any reply from him, but the graciousness that he showed, and how our conversation went. When I was talking to multiple other brokers at that time, just interviewing who should I join with, the vibe that I got from Ian is very different. So once we met for a coffee, and everything else just started falling in place, and here I am, quitting my well cushioned nice work from home IT job, and saying no to that, and fully jumping head down into real estate career. And now I am happy that I made the decision, and I'm happy that I'm staying busy, and here we are.
And you are too kind. I'm very glad that it's gone this path, and I'm so excited to see you continue to grow. One of the questions I have is how long did it take before you realized that you needed to make the switch from part time to full time agent?
So, beginning the first year, just like most of the new agents, you have no clue what you're doing, pretty much. And I know I blew your phone left and right when I was doing my first few deals. And again, kind enough, gracious enough to keep me, educated, supporting me, kind of giving me support. Like I tell this to a lot of people. It doesn't matter how much support you get after you're successful, but when you're starting up, every small phone call makes a huge difference. It's just like guiding a first-time home buyer. We as agents, we see these transactions every single day, and them being concerned about what's the difference between like 5% down payment, 10% down payment. They saw something on online, and they don't know how to validate it because online is full of information. It doesn't have any context. Everybody is like a clickbait, and it doesn't have any context. So it's just like coming to a realtor for a professional, more informed, contextual opinion. And that's what you did for me as a new agent. So when I started that path, I wasn't really sure. Like it took a lot of time to even do one or two deals. And then after it started picking up steam, and I started doing Instagram, I started going to these conferences, I started going to our masterminds. And the more and more I got this knowledge, I was like, okay, there is so much out there that we can do to build this business up in the right way. Uh, and once I started building those pieces a little by little, which I'm still working on because it's never a done process, I'm still working on, I slowly realized there is a lot of potential here. There is so much untapped market where I can deliver value to a real set of niche market that I am in, where I really thought, hey, nobody else is doing this. I have a couple of people that I know that are doing it, like Ratsav is being one of them. I can just follow him, and we have a piece of pie for everybody. Like every weekend, there is we one. The first thing that I learned is having that abundance mindset. So once I got that abundance mindset, like we can all be successful at the same time. It's like it's like an open dam, man. Like I was getting so much information, and I was like, hey, if I have to be serious about this career change, if ever, this is the right opportunity. I have to put in the time because I was doing my full-time job and this, and I'm working like more than 80, 90 hours a week. It's like I'm like crazy burning out. And I was like, nope, this is not the right way to learn or grow or do any of that stuff. So I'm glad that my financial situation is stable. My family is not reliant on my month to month salaries, so that's why I was able to take that leap. I feel privileged to even say that, so I don't take that lightly. Some people still they are doing two jobs. It's not like nothing against doing part time or anything like that. I was able to deliver a very high level service doing part time as well. You have to do what you have to do, but I thought for my career growth where I want to be, I have to take that leap, and that happened, I would say, close to a year, a little bit over an year after I got into the business, and I decided at that time, and then I took the leap.
I have to comment on that for a minute because I have a lot of agents that reach out to me. I have a lot of agents that I support and in our network, and it's always interesting to hear people's journey into real estate because realistically, everyone needs a place to live. And so,
Yeah.
because everyone needs a place to live, many adults, many people always consider at some point in their lives that a real estate license could make sense for them, right?
Mm.
Especially when you learn that if you want to be an investor, real estate is an extremely solid investment long term.
Hmm.
And the fact that if you're a licensed realtor, especially like at our brokerage, for example, you get X number of deals you don't even have to pay for as an investor, personal
Yep.
deals, right? So
Yes.
you're getting free knowledge, free investments on being able to build up your own portfolio for your family, for your future. So
Hmm.
where I wanted to go with that is a lot of people are in the mindset of, hey, maybe I should get my real estate license.
Hmm.
And I heard you say a few things about time and how much your situation, your personal situation. And so I guess my question is, if someone is getting started for the first
Hmm.
time, they do not have any real estate experience, my question to you is, do you think they should what do you think they need in order to make that successful? That's really, really kind of critical, I think. A lot of people are
Yeah.
like, it's easy, and they're able
No.
to just chip in. But that's the
No.
mindset, right? So can you explain a little bit more about like what you feel someone brand new needs to go from either part-time or have all the time in the world to being a successful real estate agent?
It's the principles are the same, right? Irrespective of whether it is part time or full time. It doesn't really matter what you do between your 9 to 5. I'm a big Alex Hermosi fan. So says this like it's not your 9 to 5 that is killing your dream. It's your 5 to 9 that is killing your dream.
Oh
So
my gosh.
so
That is, I've never actually heard that. That's
yeah,
incredible. Can you say
yeah,
that one more time?
yeah. It's not your 9 to 5 that is killing your dream. It's your 5 to 9 that is killing your dream.
I'll
So
tell you,
every
Alex is he
yeah,
pulls
Alex
some
is the
that
man.
is
He's
very good,
he's great,
very
man.
good.
Like I cannot like you, Jeremy, Raj, you have a bunch of people that I can keep naming on my hand who have directly influenced me personally with our conversations. But I take a couple of people who are like virtually like your virtual mentors, right? You don't know them, but you live by their standards. So Alex Hermosi is one of the bigger ones. Sharon, of
Cody
course.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Diary of a CEO. Yeah, there's a bunch out there. It's really good.
But yeah, podcast was a different like, but Alex is like for me, it's different level. So, but again, that kind of put a lot of thoughts in my head. Like it doesn't matter whether you're full time, part time. It doesn't matter how are you utilizing your time. People say that, of course, if you have a family, you have to take care, like you have to spend time with your family and stuff like that. But unless you want to make a career change. Let's take my situation, like as a part-time agent. Unless you as a family decide, hey, this is something that we want to try as a family, and we need this is the time away that I have to spend, and you have to work around it. You have to make the discussion, and you need to put in the time. There is no workaround. There is no magic pill. I you don't like I'm more on YouTube Shorts than Instagram Reels. But I just now while driving to back home from an appointment, I heard this Alex Armozy reel again. He's talking about the sooner you accept that it is going to take longer than it needs to be successful, the faster it will happen. That is the journey of an entrepreneur. It will take time. Nothing will come easy. The sooner you accept that it is going to happen slower, the faster it will happen. Because more people are expecting success to happen overnight. Like you do one reel and it blows up. Okay, what are you going to do with the blown up reel? Like it's going to live not live forever. It's just like a fame. Like people talk about fame, being a movie star and stuff like that. Yeah, you got a big hit. What are you going to do after that, right? How many days are you going to show that one movie and live your whole career? It doesn't work like that. You have to consistently put in the work. I would rather tell you not blow up early in your time, because that is going to put a lot of wrong directions for you. I think that like it didn't happen for me. I'm not I wouldn't say that it shouldn't happen to somebody else. I'm just saying that it takes time. Again, I know I'm coming back to the same point, beating the dead horse. It takes time. Once you make that adjustment, saying that, hey, this is what it needs for me to have this many conversations with people. Are you asking the right questions to the people that you're coming across? Are you not being a secret agent? Are you proud that, hey, I'm an agent, I'm learning? It doesn't matter. You don't have to say that I'm a new agent. You just say you're an agent. Okay. Have conversations. Don't think of it like, does this conversation help me close the deal? Now you already lost the conversation before you got into the conversation. What kind of a value are you delivering in that conversation, right? Why should somebody be willing to trust you in making their lifetime decision? Buying a house is not easy. Investors is a different topic. We'll talk about that later. But most of the new agents, they come in as a regular residential agent. That means there is a family that needs to trust you in making their home buying decision. Why should they trust you without you proving them what you're worth? And you can only show that by having a good conversation. And you will only have a good conversation if you have a lot of conversations and learn how to have a good conversation. And you will only have a lot of conversations if you put yourself out doing open houses, doing door knockings, doing cold calling. It's not my style. I don't do cold calling and door knockings. I'm very super uncomfortable talking or kind of bothering people. That's my style. But some people are super successful doing that. But I used to do a lot of open houses. More I did like more open houses for your listings than anybody else, because when I was starting my first year, if you remember, I was there every single weekend putting boards. Like every weekend I used to do like sometimes 3 open houses in 2 days, because I need some downtime out, otherwise my brain get fried, right? So I used to do 3 open houses in a single weekend. That's how I got my reps in. Another way to, yeah, so again, doesn't matter part-time, full-time, unless you're committed to put in that work and having that conversations and getting better at it. You cannot ask for business, and that's when I think slowly you get better at getting business.
It's so valuable because so many agents, especially when they're getting started, they put this emphasis on getting leads, whether it's
Mm-mm.
from your broker or from friends and family, or from some, or even buying them, or from Zillow or whatever. And I'm thinking, the problem is you don't know what to do once you get the lead.
Exactly.
They really think they're like, I know how to have a conversation. I know how to show a house. That's not it. You said it perfectly when you said it's getting the reps in.
Hmm.
Like you, I had to do so many open houses and door knocking and cold calling before I was even comfortable with the process of how does this person, how to have the conversation with how they navigate their choice to
Exactly.
buy a home or to
Exactly.
list their home, or
Yep.
even to know that they might have 20 homes and I'm not the expert that I'm acting like. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? I had a
Exactly.
guy, an agent. He started, and kind of told him the same things. I said, it may or may not move quickly. A lot of it is how much you put into it is what you get out of it. He
Mm-hmm.
did an open house within a couple weeks. He had his first deal. It was
Fantastic. I'm happy for
his
him.
first deal. And it was because it was my listing, of course, but I was like, hey, please do this. And then the person came in, and so I walked them through the whole transaction. Fast forward 2 years after, no more deals. And the truth of the matter is the the inertia wasn't there.
Yep.
It was because you were given something so easy
Mm-hmm.
and you think that everything is like that, you lose momentum and you just expect things to come to fall into your lap afterwards. And that just, I was like, and now this
Oh yeah.
person's not anymore.
I'm telling you, like this is why I told you, like you don't want your reel to blow up when you just started. You just don't know, like because it takes a lot for your Instagram or any other social channel or any content that you're putting out to be successful. Because irrespective of how much, again, same thing with Alex Hormozy is like you cannot trust luck. You can be lucky one day, you can't be lucky every single day, right? The only thing that beats luck is system and reputation. That's it. Then you don't have to rely on luck because you know how to consistently put out content or systems or products that will serve at a high level. And you do that so much that you don't have to rely on luck. Just for the sheer numbers and probability, you will make deals happen.
I talk to people a lot. They say, why do you do so many events? And not even client events. I actually do a lot of agent events. So
Yes, I
I'll
know.
do hiking, bike, motorcycle rides, mountain biking, boat. But what
Boats.
happens is I used to stay away from spending time with agents.
Hmm.
I used to avoid it. I was like, I don't want to ride a bus and eat cheese and drink wine and listen to y'all drink wine and talk about all the deals that you have. But I know truly you actually don't have any deals. You just want to sound like you're important.
Hmm.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't live in that world. But I learned that there are a lot of people out there that won't speak up. They're very humble. They won't talk about the deals and the things that
Hmm.
they're doing, especially some of these like really high net worth
Yeah.
investors and some of these people. And they're the ones that if you're just chill and you just spend time with people and get to know people, so much opportunity comes your way.
Oh yeah.
But everybody's like, I need the quick, I need the lead.
No.
It's not about because, and I understand it. It's because you're starting and you feel like until you do one deal or two deals, you won't get a rhythm.
Hmm.
And that might be true, but you can't push your way. People can smell we call it commission breath. People can
Oh yeah.
smell it right away
From a
when you're
mile
over here.
away.
You need
From a
that
mile
next.
away.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
again,
funny.
that's why like I knew like I cannot thank the universe enough because the first deals that I got were listings. I don't. I'm buyer heavy now, and if I'm doing listings, I'm doing with the listing partner because we are working on that together as a like I do the advertisement part of it, I'll do the promotions part of it. They will do the listing side of it, and we work on the listing together. But I don't take on listings by them myself because it takes more expertise than that. But again, it's not like I don't know how to do it. It's just like I enjoy the process of buyers a lot.
Yep.
Like first time home buyers, anybody who's trying to buy their second home, people like that. I really like working with those people. And then listings is more logical than emotional. Of course, every deal is more emotional than logical, but listings are a little more like system based or process based rather than spending time with the client a lot. I love spending time with people, and that's why I kind of naturally, even though I was listing heavy in my first year, I kind of slowly went into the buyer side more. But my first two deals are listings, and you know how I got them?
How?
I actually went them and told them not to sell the house.
Yeah. Love it.
And they never asked me how what's my experience is because I was prepared. I was putting in reps. I was going to open houses. I'm going to coaching calls and stuff like that. I was sweating like in my car before I went in for the listing presentation. And when I went in, and the only thing that I heard this from somebody, I don't know who, uh, but they said like it's not about making a sale. It's about serving the client. Do what is right and the right comes to you. I always believe in that. The more good we put into the universe, the better it will come back to us at some point. It doesn't have to be instant, but at some point it will come back to us. So I always believe in like, I do not need this deal. At that again, that's I'm talking from a privileged position where then my mortgage will be paid and food will be on my table even if I don't make this deal because I already had a job at the time, right? Not everybody can say that. So I'm thankful to be in that situation to have that mindset. And I went in saying that, hey, if you were me, I wouldn't sell this house because you're going to be into like you have to bring money to the table to close this house, realistically.
There's something
And
you talked that I wanted
yeah,
to touch on.
yeah, but let me finish the story. And they actually have two houses. It's a group of friends who are selling homes. And then they interviewed a few other agents as well, but they picked me. I don't know why. I never asked like, why did you pick me over the other people? I didn't want to ask that question. I was not confident to ask that question at the time. Now I would definitely will. But it's at that time I busted my ass. I was there when the handyman was there in the house. When we are changing baseboards, I was helping the handyman to like give him paint and putting things like that because I want this house to be at the absolute best possible shape when we go for listing. So I'm gonna put every ounce of energy that I have into this work. So I was willing to put in that work, and they saw that energy in me. I asked them after the fact, like, why did you pick me? And they were like, nobody came in with the confidence that you came in, and we didn't see that, irrespective of how experienced you are. We saw the honesty and willing to work from you than other agents. So we want to take a shot with you than other people. So it definitely shows when we are putting in the right energy out.
It is not about your years of service. It's about how you service, just like you
Yep.
said. It's so interesting. Another thing that you talked about, which is, I think this is glossed over by every agent, and I almost feel like every agent, like this is a masterclass in a minute. If you are telling people that you will accept any deal, if somebody says, "Hey, what do you do in real estate?" and you say, "Oh, I do everything," or "I'll work with anybody," you've already failed yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because people don't have the capacity to think of you as 10 different things. I know people that are selling like supplements and they're doing insurance and they're doing real estate and all that sort of stuff. It's like, no. When you meet somebody new, real estate is your primary breadwinning conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you should have a niche or specialty or type of person that you like to work with. For your example, you shifted from listings to buyers. And like just like we're very similar in that way. I love the discovery
Mm-hmm.
of going through the process and saying,
Yep.
wait, you mean I could get this house or it's only this much? Or I thought I had to put more down, or I could be living in this house in a month and a half,
Mm-hmm.
that sort of thing. So that's going to lead me into the next question, which is, have you ever had challenges? And I think I can say this without getting in trouble by anybody, but we're both brown guys. Have you
Yeah.
ever had any challenges in Texas or anywhere as a result, like in the real estate world as a result of that?
No. So again, initially I thought like I shouldn't put myself in a box, but
Yeah.
it's not a secret that I do get a lot of Indian clients because um, I was very 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 and conscious of my accent.
Yes.
I'm sure people already know that I have an accent now. I've been here for more than 17 years now in the States. But thankfully, I never had any uh, first-hand experiences in terms of people discriminating or anything like that. I'm thankful. I know my friends, other people who faced it, but not me. But even when coming into the business, I was very conscious that hey, I have an accent. What if people doesn't like to work with me? If people doesn't like to work with me because I have an accent or my skin color is different, so be it. Like I can't convince them to work with me. I just put myself out there and see who likes to work with me, and then I'll take it from there. Right? You cannot force people to work with you. So I even though if somebody is showing me towards me, since I am not in the in the mindset like everybody should work with me, I probably didn't even see that if somebody is showing that to me. So that's all I can say.
I love it, man. I probably do more deals than the top 10% of agents across the country in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where once you're comfortable with yourself and putting yourself out there, people will just like attract to that particular vibe.
Yep.
You can augment your vibe a little bit, but you don't
Hmm.
want to change who you are unless that's your goal, right?
Yep.
Unless you want to become a different person, then you can
Yep.
lean into that. So tell
Yep.
me a little bit about the headband because your name is Rambo. You know?
Yeah, again, you will be surprised how people keep talking about life is a full circle. Life is a full circle. This is how life is a full circle because this whole headband was born in our first coffee discussion that I had with you. Because if I remember when I met you for coffee, just to like, hey, I'm trying to be an agent. I really like your branding. I see that you always wear your hat. uh, I usually go by Rambo at my work as well because it's just a little more funny and people remember my name. And I
Oh
want
yeah.
to go with that, but I want to wear a headband. But it's like it feels stupid to have a headband every single time that you're with client. And you are the first person who said, "Come on, man, you're thinking too much. Like that is your style. That is so good. You should do it. You should have it every single time that you're out, and people should remember you with a headband. That should be your signature." And I was like, I didn't even like buy it fully. I was just thinking that this guy is full of energy. It's like his hat thing worked for him. He's just telling me like can kind of give me some kind words to kind of support me or something like that. But I was only wearing it part time uh, until I actually went. I don't want to say the name, but we have a angel agent that used to work with us who helped me really good in my initial days shooting houses and how home tours work. And she suggested me to go to Real Estate Video Blueprint
Yes.
conference in
Yes.
Houston,
Yep.
2023. 2023? No, 2022. No, sorry,
No, 2020.
I'm 2020,
2023. I it's been a
2023,
lot.
2023,
2023. I remember
2023.
clearly.
Yeah, 2023. 2023, I was there April. I got my license in February. Within 2 months, I was there. Tom Ferry is the keynote speaker in that conference. He literally paused his keynote speaking and he stopped and said, "Why are you wearing a headband?" And I said, "My name is Rambo." And the whole conference knew me within that one instant. And it's so much energy that you get from that one quick example. It's a conversation of less than 10 seconds, but that just proved what you told me 2 months ago, that I should go with it and that this should be my brand. And like just like life is a full circle, I'm talking about that on your podcast being my first ever podcast.
I love it. It's so funny because that's not only is that the most incredible validation by somebody like Tom Ferry, who's known as a leader in real estate coaching, right?
Mhm.
But also, it's the same thing. I don't think people connect this particular dot. It's the same thing as going viral in person.
Yeah,
He
very.
basically stopped and said, "What's your name? Where are you from?" And gave you an elevator pitch in front of 4,000 people at
Yeah.
the time. Like it's just, and people miss these opportunities because they're afraid to be themselves.
Hmm.
So I'm proud of you, man. I think it's just it's phenomenal. I
I
just
have to thank you. I have to thank you for pushing that idea.
you know what?
Because everybody who asks me for this story, I'm going to tell the two parts. Like when I first met Ian at coffee shop, he supported me saying that no, it's not stupid to wear a headband. You should wear it every single time. And that kind of gave me a little bit of confidence because even if you see my Instagram, if you scroll down to my first post as a real estate agent, I won't have a headband.
Ah, yes,
That's the headshot.
yes.
That's the only shot that you can find me, or a picture that you can find of me without a headband. Every other picture or video that I'm in, you will see me with the headband.
When I teach branding classes, I talk about um, you can own your brand, or
Hmm.
you can just do nothing and your brand will manifest. Right?
Yep.
Like when you meet somebody, you can decide how you're going to look, or they're just going to make their judgments based on how you look. Either
Yep.
way, it's happening, right? You're being judged. And so,
Mhm.
at least with this, you're memorable. People have a hard time being memorable. And this is just, it's one of those things. And your name, you have a long name. I was like,
Dude,
what's your name?
by some application doesn't fit my full name, but yeah, I shortened it up when I came to US, and I shortened it even more when I came to work, and when I randomly, again, this is a different tangent. I know we both love going on tangents, but just to stay on path. Randomly, I came across, hey, I can write my name in a creative way, where it will only the last two letters of my last name. If I use them, it will be Rambo. And then I was like, I used to go with that name even before becoming a realtor at my work. And then eventually it all worked out.
That's perfect, man. Okay, so let's talk. Let's start talking about like your actual strategy. I know we've been talking for a little bit. Let's talk about your actual strategy in getting business today. What? So we're just for context for people. We're in the middle. We're almost July of 2025 as of this recording, and so we're in a area in Austin, Texas, where our market during COVID went crazy, and every like you couldn't sneeze without sneezing on a client, right? Like
Yep.
you didn't have any skills. We actually call like agents that have been in the business longer call them COVID babies. So I call a
Mhm.
lot of agents COVID babies. So Rambo, you're technically a COVID baby, right? But
No,
now,
I'm after. I became an agent after the downturn.
well,
So
okay, so
technically, I'm
that's
not a COVID baby.
even better. So it's after the downturn, and so this is actually the market where I grew up in my career, and I had to deal with. Man, how do you find clients? They're not everywhere. You actually have to know what you're doing, and so with that, I wanted to provide that context. So we're in a challenging market in Austin and everywhere in the United States. What
Mhm.
is working for you, and why do you think that is?
What is working for me right now is, irrespective of whether I'm getting a call every single week or not,
Yes.
I have to put out content. That's the only thing that is working for me. It's definitely slow, but I cannot complain that I'm staying busy with showings. I have clients that I'm talking with every single day. So as long as I'm not looking for work, I can share that as a blessing, right?
Can
That's
I
all you can
interject?
ask for. Yeah.
I'm going to interject just a moment. So first, before we started this conversation, Rambo was getting messages on Instagram from multiple people that were coming in from a video he had just dropped. And it's like, or maybe it was from a trail of videos. But the point is, they were in there texting him right away. And he's like, hold on, can't start yet. Hold on, can't start yet. Let me answer her. Let me answer her. Like a lot of agents would love to be in that position. And I remember the first conversation where I was humbled tremendously when I explained to somebody that I said, man, I have like 5 leads in my pipeline that are thinking about buying. And the agent looked at me, he said, you need to have 100 of those.
Yes.
And I was like, 100? I wasn't even thinking that big. And so ever since that moment, it's if I don't have 100 or more people that are thinking about buying a house, I'm missing out on opportunity. Right.
Exactly.
So anyway, that made me think of you in the moment. And so, yeah, please continue.
Yeah. So the videos, the leads, I usually get my leads from either Instagram or YouTube. Most of it. So it's well, that's what is working for me. It's about I'm not camera shy, at least.
Yes.
I was super conscious of how I talk in the beginning,
Mm,
but not anymore. I at least got that because I was not camera shy for taking pictures, but not being in the videos as well. But when you're putting yourself out there in a home tour or doing a YouTube home tour or something like that, you're actually listening to your own voice, which is super weird if you haven't done that before. It's That's the biggest thing that it took me, because I knew I could have said this word a little different, a little better. Here my accent was very thick, things like that, right? Now you can re-record that the same thing, and you will never get satisfied with that. So it took me some time to get over that, but once I got off that, it's pretty much like my schedule is what is kind of making me not so good at my content calendar and stuff like that. But I know that if I post consistently, I'll get leads from those.
absolutely. I was in a podcast or a conference or something with Jason Pantana. And I remember one time he goes, if you're concerned with the way you look, it's because you're thinking too much about yourself and not your client.
Exactly.
And I was like,
Exactly.
that's it. That is the magic answer for everybody. Everyone needs to really like take a look at themselves and
Yep.
digest the phrase right there.
And
Right?
another phrase that I think I don't know if it is Jason Tan, it can be him because he came to Real Estate Video Blueprint multiple times and I'm there every single year. Uh, Somebody told that nobody cares how you look or how you sound except yourself.
Yes.
So why do you care? Like
Well,
nobody
they don't
cares.
care. They don't care, but also, like, you have an accent, but your name's Rambo. The Rambo that I thought of being, growing up in America, seeing movies and stuff, I was like, that's not Rambo. What? And so immediately it created a new synapse, a new connection in my mind. I'm like, okay, this is good. It's the purple cow from Seth Godin. Like you're
Mhm,
driving down
mhm.
the road and there's a field of cows. You see a purple one, you're like, what is that? What's happening? I need answers. You just have to go that direction. And that's you. You're the epitome of a purple cow. No offense, but like,
I
it's
like
awesome.
that. I like that.
It's
Maybe
so good.
I should have a purple cow outfit somewhere sometime in one of our events.
Man, and your accent, that is your purple cow. It is. It really is. It's so funny because I showed up at closing yesterday, and the title guy says, "Yeah, we don't ever have anybody show up anymore." And I looked at my client, and she said, "I'm glad you're here. Why did you come?" And I said, "I know you've purchased multiple houses." She's a very savvy investor. I said, "I know you've purchased multiple houses, but I feel like it's important in a world of AI that we spend time together in person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
just here to say hi." I never met her. I never met her before, right? And I've had so many clients like that where all the deals are just done via text or something like that. And she was a
Mm-hmm.
referral from a YouTube video, So I love that. And same with when I reach out right away, give them your personality. So anyway, you do that phenomenally. Okay. So next question. You're talking about creating leads and generating content. So I want to know a little bit about like how much time is it taking for you to do that? And like what's your strategy for putting out Instagram or YouTube content?
It's pretty much again, like I said, I learned this from multiple mentors in person, like you, Raj Saho, being like, I spent a lot of time with Raj more than anybody else in the last 1 year. He's pretty much been like a big brother for me right now. I kind of follow his strategy on YouTube. So he kind of mentors me a little bit on that as well. So it's we talk a lot. We were having lunch together the day before, shooting this exact house that I posted this morning. He shot it
Okay.
first, and I went after him, just talking about strategies and how is he doing with his YouTube, how am I doing with my YouTube and stuff like that. So pretty much like lean towards a format that you think you like and you will do consistently. That's the most important thing. It doesn't matter what is working right now. If you don't do what is working right now, then it's as good as not being done, right?
Mm.
It's always, do you get gravitated towards that format or not? People talk about TikTok. I cannot get myself on TikTok. I created my account, I started posting videos, but I always fall off from TikTok. So
Yeah.
it's not natural for me to be on TikTok. I like Instagram more. Same thing with Facebook. I grew out of Facebook and I cannot get myself back on Facebook much. So usually Instagram and YouTube are my thing. So consistently, I want to post videos every week on YouTube and every week on Instagram. Keeping your Instagram active, posting stories. Nothing like you don't have to create content for stories. Literally, take a video of like whatever you're doing every day. It doesn't have to be realistic. People
Yep.
needs to know what you do every day. Like if you went to grab tacos this morning, take a video of that. If you are at a restaurant, post a video of that. I learned this from you. I'm started doing that now. Ian finally is like take a video of where you are eating food or anything like that, anything that you like. Post a review of that place, what you genuinely felt like, and post a video of that place. All of this is like content pieces that you're throwing everywhere. So again, this all aligns with who is your ideal clientele. The ideal clientele likes to have tacos in the morning, just like me, because that's who
Oh,
I am vibing with, right?
yeah.
So all the
Yeah.
places that I'm going with, my ideal clientele who will like me also goes to the same spots. Why not be a reviewer for that post? So I literally, you will laugh at this. This happened 2 days ago when I was talking with Raj, because Raj's wife was looking up some place to eat, and she's told Raj, "Hey, Ian posted a review on this spot. I want to go to this spot."
Really?
Yes. Again,
Wow.
this is kind of like revalidating what you told me years ago on what to do about these things, right? Then it
Raj didn't
literally,
didn't say that.
Exactly. Yeah, it would have been nice, right? But again, this happened to me, and it's like because that conversation happened because I was taking a video of the place that we are having lunch at, telling him
Gotcha.
that hey, I'm going to post this just like Ian does at whatever places that he goes to.
Yeah.
Again, it's just like man, every content piece of content that we are putting out, it needs to have an intention. Everything comes back to you. It's about impressions. It's not about telling you that you are the best among everybody else. That's not the way that we want to go with. It's always like, hey, this is me. If you like me, you will come work with me, right?
Exactly.
It's always attracting the people that will like you eventually. It's not like that. That's why the Zillow leads or any leads that you buy, the rate of conversion is much lower than somebody who already knows you, who kind of wants like kind of know you, and they're not committed to you, but they know you, right?
Mhm.
There's still so many other steps that needs to happen before they give a commitment to work with you. But at least you have that impression, and they are coming to you rather than you chasing them. So
Yeah. Once you realize you're chasing, you've lost your way. I feel like, right?
exactly. Yep.
Uh,
But again,
man,
that's pretty much the content strategy that I do. I try to be as like regular as possible on Instagram and YouTube.
do you care about how long the videos are on either platform? Like, do you do
No,
different
I
videos?
mean, on Instagram, definitely like to keep it. Instagram definitely, again, doesn't matter Instagram or YouTube. It's always, we are in a short attention span society. So you definitely need to have a good hook so that Mr. B says this. He's the best content creator out there. He says that it is not deceiving or clickbaity if your hook is good. But the promise is you have to deliver on that hook. So
Have to
do not
deliver.
say you have to deliver on the hook. Then if you don't deliver on your hook, that means you're cheating people or this is clickbaity. Do you want to be clickbaity or do you want to like deliver on the hook? Always concentrate on delivering on the hook. So if you can find something like that, sometimes again that's why not every video blows up. Only few videos blow up because you're only able to deliver on your hooks. Your hook is good enough, and then the value that you're providing in the rest of the video is also good enough to do that. So length for Instagram, I try to keep it like close to a minute 10 seconds, and for YouTube it doesn't matter as long as you're like doing a good video.
It's so funny because when you said that, immediately I go back to I'm doing this like balance, this teeter between AI because I'm tech like you, like we're
I know.
tech people, but also the analog and in person stuff. And so you said that about delivering on the hook, and immediately I said, whenever somebody says they're the best agent for something, but then their clients aren't like elated after working with them,
Mhm.
they just cheated them. They just didn't deliver on the hook.
Yeah, very much.
And when you say you work with everybody, you don't have a hook.
Exactly. But hey,
So
that's the thing, right? So I don't get the context of I'm the best agent in this area. For who?
for
It's
who,
about
right?
emotion, right? Of course, everybody knows what the numbers are. Everybody knows what it is. It's about how are you serving your client throughout the process, and you won't
Yes.
be able to serve that client at a high level unless you are both on the same page. So it will be easier to be on the same page if you like your personalities or like you vibe with that person. That's why
Yeah.
we both talk about these energies and like vibing with the other person, like the energies, like that's very important for me because at some with some clients I can get that like, instantly. It's like I know, like I have clients who I worked with for like almost like 7 8 months before we found a house for them, but
Yep.
it didn't feel like I'm spinning my tires and not making progress because every time I have to meet them, I'm excited to have a conversation with them, right? So it makes the hard work makes much easier to just happen because at that time you're not thinking about when will they buy a house. You're just thinking about how can I help them today? How can I help them for their next steps? How can I help them? Is there any other possibility that we can do to help them make that decision faster? That is always our thought process rather than when are they going to. No, they are going to buy a house when they are ready to buy a house, and when you give them confidence and data points to support that decision. So it's always like how you're working with the other person.
Where do you see yourself in 3 years, or in this market and this career path? Like, what are you thinking?
I I don't want to say my goals out loud because I believe in jinxing.
That's okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, okay.
But at
Do
the
you
same time, I want to be more. I want to be more structured with my
okay,
content. I want to be more. I need to have more systems to scale better.
got it.
That's what I'm working on right now. And after 3 years, I want to be in a very streamlined process where I'm able to serve more clients in person. Because at some point, if you don't build the systems in place, you only have 24 hours in your day.
Of
You
course.
can only deliver high value to your clients if you have good set systems that are in place where they're not missing out on the service. At the same time, you're able to serve more clients as well. But I don't think I'll be like serving 100 clients in a year now. I want to be as small as possible where I can have that individual touch with each client. That's always my goal. My goal was never to make 100 deals a year.
Yeah. I have a two-part question about your Instagram slash YouTube strategy. One,
Yep.
when you're creating content, are you creating it for clients or realtors? Like who's watching it? And then I think the second part of that is um, when you're creating it, is it like on a business account? Is it just your personal account? Because I have those questions a lot. So I wanted to hear your ideas on those.
I'll take the second one first, which is business or personal account. There is no two things, it's just one. Doesn't matter. There should be only one account, in my opinion, in my honest opinion. Some people think that, hey,
It is
my
very
business
important.
account. Yeah, again, but
Yeah.
again, I'm not saying that it is for everyone, but for me, the way I think, it has to be the same. Because I want people to come to me liking me and like, hey, I should talk to this person or give them a shot as being my next realtor. The
Mm.
only way they can do that is if they actually like me as a person. And they can only like me as a person if I'm showing my personality, which is both my personal side and my business side. Right. So that's why for me, it can be two different accounts. It has to be one. And the kind of content is, of course, you have a professional page or a content creator account kind of type of account because it will unlock more features on Instagram. So I have like a content creator account or something like that.
Mm.
And I just post a lot of personal stuff there. If I'm going on trips, I'm posting about my trips. If I'm going out and doing something, I'll post about that. It's kind of mix and match of everything. I post about a lot of food whenever I eat. I love ice cream, so post about that a lot.
I
Uh,
know you do. History in
so
Canada. I mean, I love it, man. Or Detroit.
yes,
So funny.
so that's the second question. The first question is how. Sorry, the type of content. What was the first question again?
Oh,
Yeah.
if you are making content for clients specifically
Oh,
or
client
real.
specific and agent
Yeah.
specific. If you are
Okay.
doing the content for clients at a high level, agents will come because agents, we want to learn from each other and learn how to do it right. If somebody else is doing it in a better way, we want to learn to do that, right? So obviously, I follow a bunch of agents because I want to be like Ian, I want to be like Raj, I want to be like Jeremy. So of course, I follow all of you folks and I take pointers from you. Just like if you're doing something that is delivering value for clients, then obviously agents will come to you, I guess.
It's so interesting because you said earlier, you said, well, you don't feel like you can teach people. And I'm sitting here thinking, if someone's following you, half the time it's because they, one, see what you're doing and they like it. And two, they can learn from you. I
Hmm.
remember this is another book, probably like a Malcolm Gladwell or something, but he said, no matter where you are, someone's below you. And not below, like in a sense of directly, but below, like they're trying to get where you are, no matter where you are.
Hmm.
If
Hmm.
you have
Hmm.
an apartment, there are people that are homeless. If you have a house, there are people that have an apartment. If you have a mansion, there are people that have a house. If you have, a quadplex, 20 unit apartment complex, there are people that have their first investment property and they want to get there. You always have the ability to teach. It's just, I don't think people consider that or want to focus on that or even value their own education. I think that's one thing that sets us apart from a lot of
Oh,
people.
yeah.
We have access to AI, we have access to Chat GPT, Grok, and Meta AI, and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But you said earlier, it's not. You don't want to just go there and get the answers. You want to go to somebody that you know you can trust, who's
Yep.
been through it.
Yep.
That's key. someone who's actually been through it and can give you advice based on their perspective, and then you augment it for you.
Exactly. So that's where in this AI world, it's good to have that AI to help you with your systems and streamline when you're at a blog. You don't want to write your YouTube description, use AI for that, but don't do use AI for your clients. That's
Right.
that's where
Because
we are the beat.
the reality is, what is it? 1% of agents sold zero to, or sorry, 90% of agents sold 0 to 1 homes last year.
Hmm.
Okay. So you take that and then you say, hey, ChatGPT, tell me how to write a YouTube description as a real estate agent. Tell me how to do this as a real estate. It's going to take from the agents that aren't selling anything. Think through that, right? Same with like Zillow comps. It's like it doesn't know that you sold this house for a brother and a sister combo, and you actually ended up dropping it 50,000. That's why there's a price discrepancy. Or that across the street there's a whole new construction community. That's why this one's having a challenge, and yours is a DR Horton home, and theirs is a Chesmar home, and so people just don't view them the same. But you can't figure out why it's not moving. Like these are the things that the nuances that AI is not picking up.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time because that's the reason why Zillow's estimates are bad,
Have
right?
never worked.
Yeah,
Never have they worked the way
sometimes
it's
it
planned.
works. I was telling this to a
No,
client that
that's okay.
went under contract with. They were asking. I showed them comps before we go under contract. I tell them how the pricing is and everything like that, and then they came back with, "Hey, we don't want to make a bad decision by being away from the median price of this area." Then
Yeah.
I have to break it even more stats for them and tell them median is good if you're buying a median home, but if you want
No.
nice fixtures in the house, you won't be close to median. That's why the estimate is so bad because it is taking the median price per square foot in the same community. It is applying to the same house, even though it is from two different builders. Just like you mentioned, like DR Horton, Chestnut. There's nothing wrong with DR Horton. I sold DR Horton homes before. It's
Sure.
just that you need to know what you're buying, and you need to know make a conscious decision and what you're buying. And you cannot take a single headline or a single clickbait reel or a video and apply that to your situation. You need to have context. You need to have that nuanced discussion with somebody who knows what they're doing.
And the other side of that is, let's say you're helping consult a buyer who's looking to
Mhm.
purchase a home, or even someone who's looking to list a home. There are a lot of people out there that take Zillow as gospel, which,
Uh,
right? And so the issue is you have to explain to them, this is what people are seeing. So we have to dance around that as well. Why is this higher than what the Zestimate is listed at? Like you
mhm.
have to be able to articulate that in the listing description and when you're writing
Exactly.
videos. And yes,
Exactly. Because a lot of people do not like, they think of property description like, hey, meticulous house, 4,000 square foot. We have 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms for your spacious home. Nobody gives a crap. Like, give them a story why this home is different than other homes in the community.
yes,
That's just a
yes.
generic description that is generated by an AI bot, or even Microsoft Word has AI integrated into it. It will write that description for you. What's the story behind the house? So that's all matters. Like whenever we are talking with clients, we are writing property descriptions. I hate people who just one put zero effort into writing property descriptions. Number two, even if they put an effort, that is a very very generic Chat GPT description. Like,
Yes.
tell me something about the house. Why is it different? Like, why are you not like telling a story about this house? Why is this house different?
I'm telling you. So I have a lot of agents where I say you should just do content. Do content on 12 houses. Don't upload them, and then schedule your uploads. And they're like, well,
Uh-huh.
what if they're not good? Right? I try to say, like, I don't want to give too much of why I need this strategy done. Some of it is, will you do anything?
Mm,
The other part is, when you go through a house, do you know how to talk about the house? If you meet a client, let's say you're getting leads and you meet a client at a place, they're going to think I got to be careful with this, but they're going to think you don't know what you're talking about when you're
mhm.
fumbling through how to describe features, fixtures, or any elements of the house. Right? I
It's
remember
not
my
knowing, man.
first. I remember my first. I want to say open house. Somebody came in and they asked me about a tax rate, and I lost it. I was like, and then I ended up The worst part is because I didn't know, I made something up. And I said, I think it's this. And I tried to act like I had confidence instead of owning it and saying, you know what? I actually don't know that because it's different for every single neighborhood and every block essentially in the Austin, Texas area. But because I
Very
didn't
much.
take the time to learn and I hadn't toured enough houses, I didn't have that
Exactly.
answer.
And you won't know that until you put in the reps, right?
You got to put in the reps.
So
But like
again,
if you make a video and they're like, "Oh, I don't like being on camera." That is the answer. It's like that's
exactly.
not. Ugh, ugh.
So a little extension to that is I heard this from somebody else. I think in Revby as well, where do not compare your first step with somebody else's 10th step.
Oh
If
yeah, yeah.
you
Nice.
can always learn from their progress and probably start at their third step, but you cannot say I'm going to do a video and make it like look as good as somebody who has been struggling for a year or two or made like 200 videos. If you open my CapCut editor, you will see how many projects I edited in the last 1 year, right? So if
Yes.
you don't put in that reps, you're not going to get better. If you are
Right.
afraid to show your first step, you will never reach that 10th step. The
And this
only
applies to it
everything.
applies to
It doesn't mean you're a realtor or anything. It applies for every single thing in life.
yes.
Whether you're trying to be healthy, trying to get more fit, or any of that stuff, none of everything applies with the same principle. We overcomplicate. Hey, what should realtors do? No, everything in life, same principle applies. Put in the work. It will work at some point if you are honest and hardworking.
I have to ask this because I think this is another one that comes up a lot. How much do views matter
Nothing
on your house?
actually. It really doesn't. I won't say views are for your ego pretty much, right? Again, this is a simple reframe. If somebody else is getting 10,000 views, that doesn't mean they're getting business. Maybe they're getting business, right? But even if you're getting like 1,000 or 2,000 consistently on Instagram views, that's actually a good number. That's 1,000. Like if you look at your average view duration in your Instagram reels, usually it will be anywhere from like 18 to 22 seconds, depending upon how good the reel is, right? The more views you get, the lower the view duration will be. But even with that, you are getting an impression of your face in front of 10,000 people or 2,000 people that you would
Right.
not get if you don't post that video.
Right.
That's one way to look at it. Like let's say 2,000 impressions. If the average view duration is 16 seconds or 20 seconds, that means there are at least like 2 to 300 people that actually listen to you talk for a minute and show that house. Would you rather have that or not have that? Right? So even if it is 100 views or 200 views, if you consistently do it, it will slowly get better. But again, when you're starting up, that is 100 impressions that you're making on 100 people. If you have to do open houses, how many of those open houses are you doing to make those that many impressions? This is free advertising, and this is just your initial reps. It doesn't mean that these people will not like you when you get better, right? As
Right.
you do more, you get better, you'll do it. And then same thing, I believe with YouTube as well. I don't have too many views on my YouTube, but still I get leads at a happy pace right now. But I still need to work on that part of it. I still need to get better at that.
I mean, at that point, it becomes conversion. But it's
Yeah.
wonderful that, like, if you take and you think about a room full of 50 people where
Hmm.
you're in a class and you look around, you're like, there's a lot of people in this class. And now you think, if I put out a reel and I get 1,000 views, that's way more than the people in the class, even if only a quarter of those people are watching.
Listen to you talk for the whole 1 minute, right?
It's so
How,
good.
how do you put yourself in a room where people will pay attention to 60 minutes of your talk?
Exactly.
It's barely
Exactly.
going to happen. You have to be doing it at a very high level to do that. And if you are even asking how many views should my video get and how long will the video, you're not there to speak in front of a room full of people. So just do the basic thing, do the work, it will come. It is better than not doing it for sure.
That's so good, man. I think that people, as they're watching this, they're going to think, man, I got to get in touch with Rambo. Maybe he can show me more on Instagram or YouTube, or we can talk a little bit about collaborating because that's something
Oh
we didn't
yeah.
even discuss yet. How would you like people to get in touch with you, man?
Oh, Rambo_Realtor on my Instagram. Again, I always believe that knowledge is given to us, it is not gained. Because I got this knowledge from Ian, I got this knowledge from Jeremy, Raj, Sharon, all these people. These are the people that gave me knowledge. So I am willing to pass it on in my own capacity, in whichever way I can. So I'll be more than happy to take it. Like just like I said, there are so many people who helped me when I got into this business and started doing these things. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll be elated to pass that knowledge on to anybody who needs that help.
Man, I love that so much. So everybody who's watching, if you have any questions for Rambo, please reach out to him. He's a very giving person, and he's a wealth of knowledge. Even if he doesn't say he is a wealth of knowledge. He's learned so much, and he's gone through the grind, and he's transitioned from part-time to full-time. Like, please leverage that opportunity. Rambo, I want to ask one last thing of you. I think I want to start doing this. This will be my first time doing this, but I see it on other podcasts, and I love it so much. So, can you do me a favor? And I want you to set up a question for the next podcast guest. So,
I
what
know exactly
question
where
would
you
you?
got this from.
Yeah. I would love you to tell me a question that I can ask the next podcast guest. I think that would be so much fun, man.
What's the single Again, Ian didn't prep me for this. If
I
Ian
didn't.
have
I'm
told me that he's going to ask me that question, I would have prepared for a better question, I guess. But I always so what's one thing that you have listened to in recent times? One principle that you are living by very strongly right now.
Oh, I love it.
Like because in every phase of your life, you always will have one thing that is making a huge impact on how you're like putting to the process and you're willing to put in the work. That is driving you. What is that single thing that is driving you right now?
Okay. I will be sure to ask our next podcast guest. Thank you, everybody, for coming and listening to Rambo just kind of spill the beans on what's made him so successful. Rambo, thank you so much, man. This has been really good. I think it was a great
Thank,
conversation.
thank you for even giving me this opportunity because I love podcasts and I love thanks for making my dream come true, man. I really appreciate that. And thank you for everything that you did for me in my career and continue being one of my very, very close mentors that I can lift my phone and call anytime that I need help.
Of course, my friend. All right, everybody. See you in the next one. Take care.
See you.